living in your vehicle. Why would anybody want to do that? Why would anybody want to give up that $1,000 to $1,500 mortgage or rent? Why would anybody want to give up their 200, 400, sometimes $600 electricity bill, gas bill, utility bill, whatever you want to call it? Why would anybody want to give up that when you could live in your vehicle for the cost of a vehicle payment or cost of vehicle insurance? That's your rent, that's your mortgage, the occasional maintenance that needs to be done to your vehicle, the thrill of uncertainty. Why would anybody want to do that? Why would anybody want to be able to wake up in a different spot every day? Wake up, see this. Wake up, see a running creek, hear insects and birds. And who had ever thought I was in the middle of a city? I'm a city dweller, a vehicle dweller. I have a day job. But nobody would know it. I walk into work, nobody knows I live in my vehicle. Walk into the grocery store, nobody knows I live in my vehicle. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to care. It's none of their business. It's my business, and I make it my business. I do this by choice, not by situation or circumstance, but by choice. And that choice I've had has brought me so much peace, so much joy, happiness. Of course, it isn't all glory. It isn't all happiness. You're going to have to fix your vehicle. You're going to have to wake up one day because you fell asleep with your fan on and your battery's dead, but all you got to do is ask somebody to give you a jump. That's it. No big deal. Had that happen. But I'm thinking the risk is way more beneficial than the reward. When this is what you get to do on a daily basis, if you want to. I mean, you could stay cooped up in your vehicle all day, become lethargic, not do anything, or you could go on a walk, get up, get the blood flowing, stay healthy, and get to see this kind of thing. But who would want to do this, right? Who would want to be able to do something like this when you could just wake up every day, turn on the TV, find out the next horror that's going on in the news, live life through somebody else's life on a reality TV show? Who would want to do that? I wouldn't. I've done it before. It's not what I chose to do now. This is what I've chosen to do. Live freely, live simply, live deliberately, declutter, minimalize your lifestyle, and just live the vehicle life. You don't have to stay in your box with 4 walls, a ceiling, and a unmanageable mortgage or rent payment. You don't have to. It's your choice. It's all your choice. What do you choose to do? What are you going to choose to do? I mean, of course, some people can't. They have kids, they have a wife, obligations. But we've all been trained to think that you have to. We've all been trained that that's just the way it's supposed to be. Well, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be at all. And I'm sure once people figure out how easy it is to do, and they just try it once. Try it for a week, try it for a month. And if you don't like it, go back to your box. Nobody's gonna know, nobody's gonna care. But at least you tried it, right? At least you gave it a shot. And if it isn't for you, it isn't for you. I'll guarantee you one thing. I don't regret it. I don't regret giving it a shot. I don't regret saying, you know what, I'm not gonna give somebody else 75% of my income. I'm not gonna give somebody else my hard work. I'm gonna give my hard work and time and effort to myself. Not the government, not the landlord, not the mortgage provider, not the utility company that arbitrarily inflates the cost of their services because they're the only one that's got a monopoly on that area. I digress. Who wouldn't want to make this their lifestyle, is my question. And I've seen families, I've heard of families move into their vehicle because they had to, because they had no choice, because they got bogged down by a mortgage, they got laid off, bad financial situation, and they had no choice. They had to do this anyway. They could have spent an eighth of that mortgage, bought an RV, and been totally happy. They would have been able to homeschool their kids. They would have been able to do the same things everybody gets to do that lives in a house, only they don't have to wake up in the same spot every morning. They could live freely. They could live off the grid. They can, in some cases, and in most cases, provide their children with a better education than they would in the public schools. And you don't have to keep your kids away from other people. You don't have to seclude them. YMCA's out there. Plenty of programs out there to keep your kids interacted with other children so that they don't miss out on that aspect of being in a public school. But that aside, if you're single, or even if you're just a couple and you haven't decided what you want to do with your life yet, I would say this is the best option. Even if you got a brick and mortar job where you can't travel, you can still do this. You don't have to, but you can. Just live freely.